Texas Stadium, one of the NFL's most unique stadiums, will be our location for what we expect to be a good one between Atlanta and Dallas. Let's take you now to Tom Hammond and Chris Collinsworth, who are getting set for the kickoff.
It will be clear and mild for today's game. Hello, folks. Tom Hammond and Chris Collinsworth getting set for this one. Kicker looks ready to get this one started. Let's head down to the field for the opening kickoff. Drilled at the 29-yard line. I'm sure they'd like to come away with some points as they take the field for the first time. Dallas comes out with an I formation. Witten in motion. He looks to throw on first down. Looks for a man open. Brooking catches it. Interception. To the 20. To the 10. He's in. Touchdown. And that was the worst possible place to throw that ball.
Yeah, especially because that guy was playing defense, and that guy not only will pick you off, but he'll put points on the board. What a play.
They'll look to tack on the extra point. Extra point is good. Atlanta up 7 points. The kick. He'll return it from the 1. Brought down at the 26-yard line. The quarterback and his receiver were clearly not on the same page last time, and it led to an interception. Single set backfield. The counter. What a shot! That was an excellent run there to pick up the first.
Yes, sir. He really found a nice hole, was able to exploit it for a good gain. They're going to have to do a better job getting in those running lanes if they're going to stop him consistently.
Drops back on first down. Throws out left. Tackled at the 49-yard line. He got that one there for the first down, didn't he?
He really did. And when you watch guys throw a ball that hard, they don't move their arm any faster. You see him driving off that back leg. That was a pretty pass.
He looks to throw on first down. He's hard on the play. Boy, you talk about taking a big hit.
Boy, oh boy, he's got to be feeling that one right now. That is one nasty shot. And honestly, I think people are surprised just to see him get up.
Romo back to throw. Throws it out. Tipped away. Owens was the intended receiver, but they can't complete the pass. From their own 44-yard line. All the defensive backs in for this one. He's looking to throw. Gets the pass out. Brought down at the 45. Still not quite enough, however. They'll still be facing fourth down. And they can really put their opponent in bad field position with a good punt here. McBriar will kick it away. And boy, did he get all of this. What a punt. Once again, we'll take this opportunity to remind you that this game is brought to you by the fine folks at EA Sports. Here's the halfback. They tackle him for a loss. The defense seemed to do everything right there.
And you love to see those linebackers playing downhill like that, not just flowing sideline to sideline, but attacking and trying to get in the backfield.
Redmond looking to throw. On the run, he throws it. Henry bats it away. The defender was able to get a hand on it.
And really, that came as a result of pretty physical play at the line of scrimmage. They're banging these guys around and not letting them get into their routes.
Back to pass. Strong throw to his right. Huge hit. Excellent pass by the quarterback on that play.
I'm really enjoying watching the timing between this receiver and the quarterback. We're seeing a well-schooled offense now going to work.
They'll throw on first down. Rockets it out. He's there for the catch. He's tackled at the 41-yard line. He shows no hesitation and gets it in there to get the first down.
Yeah, you wouldn't hesitate either if you were standing back there in the pocket. I say the heck with it. Get it out of there fast. Let somebody else handle it for a little while.
Drops back to pass. And he catches it. He's brought down at the 38. And not a whole lot of yardage gained on that one, Chris.
And that's one of those plays where you leave it up to the receiver to make yardage after the catch is made. When he can't find his way into open space, you'll see plays like that.
They hand it off again. He's going to be tackled for a loss. Well, they wind up in reverse that time. Good push by the defense.
And when the defense gets that kind of penetration, it just disrupts everything for an offense. They have to get that guy blocked.
Drops back. Looking for a receiver. Leaping catch. He's dropped at the 14. That pass is good for a first down.
And he had some zip on that one, didn't he? He reared back and threw that one about as hard as he could.
First down, looking to throw. Short pass to his left. Tackled at the 6. Nice little pickup on that pass pattern.
And I really shouldn't feel this way, but I get a little nervous every time this guy goes up to make a catch, because he's had a little bit of a history of dropping some balls, but today doing a nice job hanging on and a big play there.
The halfback with the carry. Brought down behind the line. He just didn't have a whole lot of blocks to work with on the counter.
And you have to be able to get that counter play going. When the penetration gets there and it forces those offensive linemen to go back just a little bit deeper, it throws off the timing of the entire play.
He's looking to throw. Throws out to the right. No connection this time. Robinson was the intended target on that incomplete pass attempt. Elam could put them up by 2 scores. Right down the middle. Solid kick that time, and he puts it right through the uprights, converting for the field goal. He kicks it. He'll return it from the 4-yard line. Brought down at the 31. So before the offense hits the field, let's take the time to let you know that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. Hands it to the back. The defender gets him to the ground. The halfback gets the ball and picks up 5. Atlanta brings in their nickel package.
All right, here we go. 180. I'm just 180. Swim. Come on, D. Now.
Drops back to pass. Scrambles for yardage. He keeps it and maybe gets 3 yards. Dallas is going with the offset eye backfield. Barber gets another carry. They will be short. What happened there?
When you run the ball in that situation, typically it means you have a little more faith in your offensive line and your running back than you do the quarterback and the receivers. And that time, the offensive line and the running back didn't get it done.
Here's the kick. He got some distance on it. Down in the end zone for a touchback. And they take the field again, looking to capitalize on their previous drive, which resulted in a field goal. The Falcons come out in a single back formation. Short throw to the right. He gets knocked out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Gain of 4 on that play action pass. 2nd and 6. Atlanta goes with the ace set here.
Blue 45. Blue 45. Let's get off this field, man. Loosen.
Redmond will hand it off. He gets to about the 34-yard line. Excellent execution on that counter.
Yeah, really not much the defense could do there. The backside really blocked down. They came around to the play side with those big offensive linemen. That one looked easy.
Drops back. Strong throw to his left. Can't stay in bounds. Incomplete pass. He couldn't get 2 feet in on that one.
Well, that's something receivers work on all the time, dragging that back toe, just unable to do it that time.
Redmond back to pass. He passes middle. Right through his hands. He almost had the pick. Oh my, the quarterback is lucky that one wasn't intercepted.
Yeah, you try and fit some of those into some tight holes, and every once in a while, you're going to get one pick, but that was a pretty good play by the defense.
He needs to get rid of it. And it's caught at the 40, at the 30, to the 20. He's dropped at the 12. Quarterback finding some nice passing lanes early in the game.
Yeah, he is, and that's one thing you don't want to let this guy do. You don't want him in a rhythm early, or he'll pick you apart. He's proven that so far, and I don't think this defense has figured him out yet.
They line up at the 12. The Falcons come out in the single back formation, 3 receivers wide. Hit and drop behind the line. The offense had a tough time picking up all their blocks on that play.
You know, you can draw up any sort of protection scheme and blocking scheme that you want. But ultimately, this game comes down to one big man against another big man, and that time the defense's big men, they won the battle.
Turner loses the ball, and I think one of the big guys fell on it for the defense, and that was not a good time for a fumble.
Well, there's really never a good time for a fumble, but you can tell that he just got sloppy with that football. He broke down on his fundamentals, and he gave it up.
Sets up the play action. Throws it short. With the catch. He delivered a nice throw on that drop back, completing it for a pretty good gain.
You know, there aren't many guys who work any harder than this guy, both in the offseason and during the week of practice. He isn't the most physically gifted quarterback I've ever seen, but you can tell the time he puts in the film room, in the weight room, and he understands the game of football.
Barber gains around 3 yards on the toss play.
And they really ran right into the blitz. That's a time that a veteran quarterback should have changed the play at the line of scrimmage. You could see the blitz coming. He didn't audible and only came away with a short gain.
He's tackled at the 22. So they tried to push it ahead, but the defense stopped them short of the first down.
Looked like one of those old-fashioned rugby scrums there. A lot of big bodies piled together and nowhere for the running back to go.
It's away, and it's a booming punt. Jennings fields it at the 34. He's brought down around the 48-yard line. That guy just showed off some pretty good skills on that return.
I thought for sure he was taking that one back to the house. You know, anytime you get a guy with that kind of skill level in the open field with a little room to run, good things are going to happen.
Drops back to pass. Throws on the run. It's broken up. That incompletion will bring up second down. Second down now with 10 to go. Ball on their own 48. Offset I formation in the backfield. Gives to the back. He'll be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. He tries to wriggle away, but he's stopped for a loss.
Well, Tom, the offensive line just didn't get any push there. They've got to do a better job knocking those guys off the line of scrimmage.
Redmond looking to throw. Makes the reception. Tackled at the 46-yard line. They complete the pass on 3rd and long, but they'll end up short of the marker.
You can see the confidence level of this defense. They know they can make open field tackles, and that's probably one of the great lost arts in the game. The ability to make the tackle in the open field and stop them short of the first down. Good play defensively there.
Gets the punt away. It'll go out at the 25-yard line. Their last drive ended with a 3-and-out. Romo lines up under center. They'll line up in the I formation. Feeds it to the back. And he's decleated at the 30. A 5-yard pickup for the halfback. Romo with 4 wide receivers.
Let's go, keep playing. Here we go.
Witten in motion. Looking to throw. Looks right, throw. And he made a great open field tackle. That one worked just as they drew it up.
Good pass, good catch, I agree. Sometimes there's really nothing you can do as a defense to stop a well-executed pass play.
Barber gets the carry. He's tackled at the 50. Barber gets 6 yards on the play. They line up at the 50. Dallas goes with the ace set here. Gives to the back. He's brought down at the 45. Barber picks up just around 5 yards. That'll be good for the first. The backfield is in the offset I formation. Looking to throw. Fires it out. Makes the catch. And a great pass by the quarterback to convert for the first.
And what we're seeing out of this quarterback is a variety of throws. Yes, he has the ability to zip it in there when he needs to, but we've also seen some touch throws, a very complete repertoire.
Jam free. We stopped the run first. Get it back.
The halfback with the carry. He's dropped at the 22-yard line. They go with a run, and that'll be a gain of 9. From the 22-yard line. Dallas comes out in the shotgun.
180. Here we go, baby. Watch the run now. Watch the run. Quick games, 44 screw. Let's go.
They'll keep it on the ground again. He tries to spin, and he is dropped. The defense has to come up with a way to slow down this rushing game.
And now's when things get really difficult for a defense because you begin to understand you're not stopping the run. So as you bring defenders closer to that line of scrimmage, you really take a chance on giving up a big play.
Hey, never quit, fellas.
Romo with the give. Brought down right around the 12-yard line. Barber gets 7 yards on the play. It's the 9th play of the drive. This will be their first snap inside the 20 today. Man in motion. Fakes the run. Strong throw to the center of the field. Owens was the intended receiver, but the pass fell incomplete. Barber, the lone back. And they use motion. Hands it to the back. He doesn't get back to the line. Nice stop on that play.
Yeah, great defense at the point of attack, but also very impressive the pursuit to the ball. They were all coming there.
Folk can bring his team within a touchdown. Set down. The kick is up. It's good. And we'll take a quick look at the drive summary. Excellent kick here. Drilled at the 25. So as the offense heads back onto the field, we'll take this time to remind you that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game. Guns it out. Douglas fumbles. Canty scoops it. Big-time play by this defense.
And wide receivers are so used to making jukes and moves out there, and sometimes they just get loose with the football. That one's stripped away, and that's a big play.
They'll start this drive at the 33. Offset I formation in the backfield. Stays on his feet. Just can't find the range on that one. The pass falls just short of the intended receiver.
And that's the kind of pass you throw time after time, day after day in practice, and then you can't hit it in the game. Remarkable.
Drops back. Throws it short. Brings this one in. Knocked out of bounds at the 29-yard line. It's completed, but the defense appeared to be waiting for it. Not much there at all.
That's part speed and part anticipation by this defensive unit. They're always in great position, and you'll rarely see them get burned on passes like that.
Drops back to pass. He throws on the run. And they get him around the 22-yard line. Nice job getting that pass out of there, and he picks up the first down.
Yeah, smart play call that time by the offense. He could tell by the pre-snap read that short throw was going to be there, and he took advantage.
Romo will look to pass. And it's completed. Finally make the tackle, and it will be first and goal. Still a lot of time left, but at the end of one, the score is 10-3. First down, and they're very close to tying this game up. Offset I formation in the backfield. They motion to the left. Fakes the run. Passes to his left. Makes a move, and he's in. Touchdown. He made the catch, and that was a great call. Who expected that?
Obviously not this defense. The last thing in the world you're thinking when the fullback runs on the field is that he's going to beat you for a big pass play. What a play that was, though.
Extra point is good. Here's a quick look at the drive summary. Decent kick. Jennings fields it at the 2. Hit and dropped at the 28-yard line. Once again, we'll take this opportunity to remind you that this game is brought to you by the fine folks at EA Sports. tackled right around the 28-yard line. It looks like they picked up a yard or maybe a little less.
Well, that was the perfect time for them to call a blitz. They got in there, filled up all the gaps, brought down the running back for a short gain.
Surveys the field. Mahaley was the intended target on that incomplete pass attempt. Redmond lines up under center. 3 receivers are split out wide. Back to pass. Catch is made. He's dropped at the 33-yard line. And for as good of a catch as that was, this offense now has to deal with a 4th down. Newman is the return man. Gets the punt away. And they make the fair catch. If the offense can air it out as effectively as they did on their last drive, it's going to be a long day for everyone on that defense. They come out in the nickel.
Play 3, man. You got close up. Hey, what?
They hand it off. Brought down around the 29-yard line. They get 6 there. That brings up 2nd down. So 2nd down now. The offense needs about 4 for the first.
Here we go. Turbo, Simba, peel 1 single.
He fakes it. Under heavy pressure. It's loose. Recovered by the offense. They were extremely fortunate to get that one back after the fumble, Chris.
Yeah, they really were, because as an offensive player, very rarely are you looking at the ball. You're always focusing up the field, and then all of a sudden you hear those words, fumble! And you know 11 guys are honed in on the ball. Offense lucky to get that one back.
Witten fumbles it. Abraham gets the loose ball. To the 20. To the 10. The ball came free, and the defense was right there to scoop it up.
But one thing for sure, the ball's not going to stay free on that field for very long. Defensively, they were all over that one.
Milner comes in motion. He needs to make a decision. It's picked off. How about that defensive play?
We hear so much about quarterbacks giving their receivers a chance to make a play on the ball. Much more today than they did 20, 30 years ago. Quarterbacks will throw the thing up for grabs, give their receiver a chance. That time, though, it got burned.
First down, looking to throw. He throws it. Pass completed. And they get him at the 31. The defense just didn't match up well on that play.
Yeah, tough to match up one-on-one in man coverage against that wide receiver. He's pretty good.
Keep your eyes open. We up. Let's line.
Defense is getting pressure. Bowley knocks it away. Witten was the intended receiver, but the pass fell incomplete. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 31-yard line. The Cowboys line up in an I formation.
Here we go. Hey! 180!
They go with a run. He's dropped for a loss. No one picked up the linebacker, and it cost them.
And when your defensive line can handle their guys up front and not allow the offensive linemen to get down on the linebackers, it really gives those linebackers a chance to look great.
Hey, come on. Hey, pick 6 right here, pick 6. Let's go, baby.
Looking to throw. Gets the ball away. And he dropped him in the open field. The 3rd down pass got them good yardage, but not quite enough to convert.
Yeah, that was a tough 3rd down situation. They got the good completion, a good gain on the play, but probably asking too much out of the receiver to try and break that many tackles to pick up that 1st down.
Punts it, and he got a good one here. He fields it at the 17. He's dropped at the 37. What happened to the coverage there, Chris?
Oh, come on. They completely lost containment on that guy. I mean, you just can't let that happen. I'll be honest, they were really lucky they didn't give up a touchdown on that one.
It's the tailback. Flag on the play. That might be holding. Let's see what the official's call is on the field.
Holding. Offense.
And that will back this one up.
You know, not only does it make it harder to pick up the first down, but it just deflates an offensive huddle when you give away yards like this.
He's looking to throw. Looking for an open man. Hamlin picks it off. He's brought down at the 34-yard line. And that was the second time he's been picked off this half.
Well, we're going to find out how mentally tough this quarterback is, because when you get off to a shaky start like that, sometimes it's tough to piece everything back together again.
Tackled right around the 30-yard line. So a pickup of maybe 3. That'll bring up second down. The backfield is in the offset I formation. Witten goes in motion. There's a play fake. He throws left. And they get him at the 30. It's completed, but not a whole lot of yardage gained on the play.
Yeah, this is a defense that just has too much speed for plays like that. You have to loosen them up some with some deep attempts for the short passes underneath the work.
Gets rid of the ball. Out of bounds at the 21.
There's just something magical about Tony Romo. There really is. When you talk to him, he has that smile on his face, and he looks like, oh, shucks, and I can't believe this is happening to me. But week in and week out, he makes huge plays in the ball game, and he is a tremendous leader.
There you go, G. Let's get that ball back.
Romo dropping back. Gets the throw off. He's tackled at the 14. Pretty nice throw on that play.
And a pretty good catch on the other end, too. That's one of those plays that's quickly becoming one of the staples in this offensive passing attack.
He fakes it. Completed. They finally get him, and it looked like he would score, but instead they'll set it up with 1st and goal. One man in the backfield. There's a play fake. Romo lost the ball. It's picked up. That one popped out, but they recovered it to retain possession.
And it's not always who has possession when you go to the bottom of one of those piles. It's who comes out with it at the end of that little scrum discussion down there. I've actually been pinched and had my hair pulled at the bottom of one of those piles.
He's dropped at the 8. Barber gets about a yard on the play. Now the offense will line up facing a 3rd and goal situation from the 7. Romo back to pass. He's been perfect on this drive. And he makes the catch. Touchdown. Just a great pass and catch on that one, Chris, as they connect for the touchdown.
And I just love watching these two guys work together. This is a special combination, and it pays off again.
They come on the field to attempt the extra point. The kick is up. Point after is good. And here's your drive summary for that last series. Here's the kick. From the 5-yard line. Drilled at the 28-yard line. It'll be interesting to see how this quarterback reacts after throwing an interception on his last drive. 3 wide receivers. They keep it on the ground with the tailback. Tackled at the 33-yard line. So they get 5 yards there on the halfback draw. From their own 33-yard line. Redmond comes to the line, 3 wide formation. He'll get it again. And they get him at the 33. A gain of a yard, if anything, on the run. 3rd down, 5 yards for the first. They line up in the shotgun. Looking to throw. Throws while on the run. Brought down at the 41-yard line. The quarterback did a good job of recognizing the coverage and finding the open man.
As a receiver, when you go against a zone defense, it's much more about recognition and knowing where the holes in that zone defense are. That time the receiver executed perfectly and found the open spot.
He's dropped at the 44-yard line. 3 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 7. Ball on the 44. Redmond is under center. I formation behind him. And the defense has a heavy rush. He's brought down at the 46-yard line. He just couldn't make anything happen after bringing that one in.
And that play is really all about the closing speed on defense. They'll let you have the completion, but then they close quickly and make the play.
Fakes to the back with a pass. Brings it in. And they get him at the 42. He put something extra on that throw, and it'll keep the chains moving.
And that's really what it takes sometimes, because defenders are so quick out there. If you don't put a little extra pop on it, they can get there.
Redmond has completed every pass on this drive. Brought down at the 32-yard line. And a nice pickup there.
Nice play that time. The defense came with the blitz there. He made a good read, delivered a nice ball in there to the open man.
Watch the switch. Blue 45. Blue 45. Zebra.
Throws a bullet. And he just got hammered. That's now his 3rd reception of the drive. Pretty clear who the favorite target is on this possession.
You know, this receiver is just one of those guys that you want to keep busy. Some guys only want to try and catch the deep balls or the big plays. Other guys want to catch a lot of balls. This is one of those guys. He gets into a rhythm, and he can beat you.
Fakes the run. With the catch. Steps out right around the 22-yard line. Nothing doing on that play. That'll make it 3rd down. Dallas lines up with 5 defensive backs.
Blue 45. Let's go. Regular.
Back to pass. Looks down the field. He hasn't missed a pass on this drive. The quarterback's been putting up some good yardage.
And having success early in the game like this frees up your running game, because the defenses have to keep defensive backs in coverage, so now there's more space for that running attack.
Setting up play action. Passes to the end zone. Tight end scored that time, and with authority.
If you get those big tight ends moving vertically down the field, they can be really intimidating for defensive backs. Good pitch and catch there.
The snap, set down, the kick is up. And now we'll take a quick look at the drive summary. The kick. Fielded at the 4. Big hit there to bring him down. They were able to put together a nice drive on their last possession. They'll be looking to make it 2 in a row on this drive. Offset I formation in the backfield. Slides down to the ground. 1 yard gain on the play. That brings up second down. They line up at the 30. They'll go from the shotgun.
Here we go.
Drops back to pass. He needs to get the pass off. Out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Anderson grabbed that one for a gain of 2. That'll make it third down. Owens motions to the left side. Back to throw. Strong throw. He's dropped in the open field.
You know, a couple of things that really impressed me about Tony Romo. One is his accuracy, and that's always underrated. But the second thing is his quick release. We went back and timed his release and compared it to some of the greatest quarterbacks that ever played the game, and his release is as fast, if not faster, than any of them.
He's pushed out at the 40, and that one will go for a first.
And really top-notch quarterbacks know how to throw a football in there without leading his receiver into trouble. That was a great throw.
One's a hard count. King's right. Swim.
Back to pass. He's going to run. Tackled at the 37. Romo gains about 2 yards on the scramble. From the 37-yard line. Offset I formation in the backfield.
Goes right, Lucy. Big play, D. Freeze it. Nice.
They keep it on the ground with the tailback. He couldn't get anywhere on that one.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to admit defeat on a play as a running back and just try and get that thing back to the line of scrimmage.
Let's go. Here we go.
Owens in motion.
Leo. Here we go.
Setting up play action. He decides to run. And they get him at the 29-yard line. That'll keep the chains moving.
Third down conversion's always so important in a football game, but when you can convert on third down on the ground, it just is a little bit extra special.
Big set this time with 2 tight ends.
Watch the ball. Let's go. Come on, guys. Keep your head. Here we go. Zebra. Wide. Check. Yeah.
First down, looking to throw. Is there for the catch. A gain of 3 yards on that one. 2nd and 7 coming up here. This is the 9th play of this drive.
Hey, let's go, baby. Hey, inside.
Dallas motions right.
Come on, D. Middle.
He drops back. Under heavy pressure. What a hit! And they're able to get to him on that one.
Great job there getting to the quarterback. The defense went with the bull rush and just manhandled this offensive line. They've got to be more stout. They've got to be able to hold up in protection.
Owens, the man in motion. Looking to throw. Rockets it. Hasn't missed yet on this drive. The Falcons will take their first time out of the half. So the kicking team is on the field to try for 3 points. This will be a 36-yard try. He put that one right through the upright. He gets his leg into this one. Drilled at the 28-yard line. So before the offense hits the field, let's take the time to let you know that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. The Falcons come out in a shotgun set. He drops back. He needs to get rid of it. Makes the catch. He didn't get back to the line. They won't huddle here as they try to speed things up. Redmond is in the shotgun. He has 2 tight ends in the offense. They're changing the play. The Falcons will take a timeout. That's their second of the half. 2nd and 11 coming up now. A minute left in the half. Redmond set to go to the air. Pass is complete. He's brought down at the 40. What happened there, Chris?
Well, they got caught in man-to-man coverage on that play, and I couldn't tell if the defender slipped a little bit or not. Maybe he just got beat on the play.
They'll throw on first down. Defense closing in. Second down coming up after the incomplete pass.
Second down.
From their own 40-yard line. Redmond is in the shotgun. He has 5 receivers split out wide.
Scatter, scatter, scatter.
Drops back. Throws it short. There for the reception. Tackled right around the 48-yard line. And you won't see the coaching staff complaining about that.
Yeah, coaching staffs generally don't complain about too much when they have a quarterback that has the leadership qualities and the arm strength and the ability that this guy has.
They line up at the 49. Third and short, and they'll throw for it. Throws it short. It's incomplete. The quarterback put that one too far out in front of his receiver, and he couldn't stay inbound.
He tried to make a safe throw there, but the receiver was open. It didn't have to be quite that cautious and just let him out of bounds.
Punts it, and he got a good one here. So this one goes into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. They had to settle for a field goal on their last drive. They take the field again, looking to put up another score. Nice play fake. No completion. They can't complete the pass, and now the offense will be looking at second down. So they'll face a 2nd and 10. Ball on the 20. Romo comes to the line under center. He has 2 tight ends. Barber on the handoff. He's tackled at the 22. And we've come to halftime here. The score is 20-17. Kicks it off. He's tackled at the 23-yard line. So as the offense heads back onto the field, we'll take this time to remind you that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game. The pocket is collapsing. He drops it. White was the intended receiver, but they can't complete the pass. They'll face 2nd down and 10. Ball on the 23. Redmond lines up under center. He has 2 backs behind him.
Valued at over $3,500.
It's the tailback. Brought down at the 30. That's a 7-yard gain, and that makes it 3rd down. The Falcons come out with the offset eye. And they'll try and get the first through the air. The pass rush gets there, and he's down.
Not much point in going for this one. I expect to see him punt it away here.
4th down. Looks like they're going to punt it away here. Keenan is waiting for the snap. Punts it. Newman takes it at the 36. Defense pushes him out of bounds at the 44-yard line. And that return should set this offense up nicely.
He did a good job there finding a seam and getting up the field. You know, a lot of people don't realize that being a punt returner or a kick returner is one of the toughest jobs in the NFL. There's a whole lot of things that could go wrong and only a few that can really go right.
And the halfback has nowhere to go. from their own 44-yard line. Ace backfield this time.
We up. What we got? 180. Right. Here come what? Let's go.
Nice play fake. And he's drilled at the 36-yard line. What happened to the protection there, Chris?
The key on a safety blitz is timing it out with the quarterback snap count. If you tip it too soon, the offensive lineman or the backs can adjust, but if you time it perfectly, like happened on that one, you end up with a sack.
Drops back, looking for an open man. It's a fumble. Looks like we'll see a change of possession. And the defense comes up with a big play there.
Well, the number one rule for a halfback is you have to be able to hold on to the football. All the statistics show you turn it over and you're going to lose.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 42-yard line. Single set backfield. Redmond calls for motion left. And he was just a little too eager on that one. Here's the call.
Encroachment. Defense.
And the defense gives up some free yards to the offense.
I always thought a defensive penalty was so much more deflating than an offensive penalty because on offense you have a chance to make up for it. On defense, a lot of times it's big yardage and automatic first downs.
Sets up the play action. There for the catch. He's brought down around the 25-yard line. How about that pass?
There's really no better feeling as an offense, especially for the quarterback position, than to take advantage when the defense is trying to blitz you. They're trying to make you nervous, and you just made them pay.
Here's the give. He's hammered in the backfield. The defense just ate up that one.
Well, those defenders get paid too, and every once in a while they win the battle. Clearly that time they were all over this offensive line.
Another run. He's tackled at the 23-yard line. A 5-yard pickup for the halfback. 3rd and 8 now. Turner, the lone back. He drops back to pass. Rifles this one out to the right. Tackled at the 12.
Personal foul. Face back. Defense.
The defense can't keep giving up yards on penalties like this.
Yeah, it's hard enough in the game today with the rule changes to help the offense to stop an offense anyway, but you can't give away yards.
He drops back. He needs to get the pass off. Comes down with it. Nice pass for the quarterback on that one with the defense bearing down on him.
Good job by the offense that time. Really nothing there down the field. He just takes a little completion and keeps moving the ball.
Gives it off. He's going to be tackled for a loss. A great defensive effort there.
Did you see how fast that linebacker was on that one? Not only did he recognize it, but when he did recognize it, he had the explosiveness to get there.
They hand it off. He lost yardage on the play. It looked as if the offensive line just collapsed.
And it looked like this defensive line just beat him off the snap. Sometimes those guys can time out the quarterback's cadence, and if the quarterback doesn't start changing that snap count, his offensive line's going to really struggle.
He's got it. Not much doubt as he puts that one right through the uprights. Kicks it off. Taken at the 5. Dropped at the 33. Once again, we'll take this opportunity to remind you that this game is brought to you by the fine folks at EA Sports. Romo sends a man in motion. Drops back to pass. Rifles it out there. It's completed. He gets knocked out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Pretty risky throw that time, but it worked, so you won't see many complaints.
Probably the most dangerous throw in football right there. Anytime you see the quarterback throwing across his body like that, back into coverage, when it works, you go, boy, that looks pretty and that's easy to do, and you're always tempted to do it. But how many times have we seen a ball like that picked off?
3rd and 5 situation. Ball on their own 38. The backfield is in the offset I formation. He's looking to throw. Dumps it out left. Brought down around the 42-yard line. Despite the great effort, it will still bring up 4th. McBriar to punt. McBriar kicks it away, and did he ever get a hold of this one? Goes into the end zone for a touchback. The offense takes the field, hoping to come away with more than just a field goal on this drive. Gives it off. He's dropped at the 22-yard line. Turner gains about 2 yards on the run.
That was a big shot right there. You talk about getting your bell rung. That was the Liberty Bell ringing that time.
He's looking to throw. Defense is getting pressure. Should have had that one. He was wide open. 3rd down coming up after that incomplete pass. They line up at the 22. Redmond steps up to the line, 3 wide receivers. Drops back, and they're coming after him. 4th down coming up, and we're probably going to see the punting unit. Heenan awaits the snap. Punts it. Newman takes it at the 36. Tackled at the 49-yard line. And that was a nice little punt return there.
Wow, I thought he was gone for a second. They did a good job getting to him, at least preventing the touchdown. Of course, they wouldn't have to chase him down like that if they'd have done a better job covering the punt.
They go with the run. He's brought down at the 44-yard line. That'll be a 7-yard pickup. That'll bring up 2nd down. They'll need about 3 yards here on 2nd down. The Cowboys come out in a single back formation. Romo will look to pass. Looking for a receiver. And he caught it. He's tackled at about the 37-yard line. That was a decent gain there on the pass.
Yeah, no hesitation whatsoever. He hit that back foot, planted, threw the ball, knew exactly what he wanted to do.
Looking to throw. He's running out of time. And the pass is knocked away. The pass was deflected and swatted away by the defender.
I think the quarterback may have had to throw that ball a little sooner than he wanted to. The pressure was starting to get there.
Barber gets the handoff to the right. And they get him around the 34-yard line. He carries the ball for 3, maybe 4 yards. 3rd down, 6 yards to the 1st. Ball on the 34-yard line. Back to throw. Throws the bullet to the right. And he's hammered at the 25.
Terrell Owens is one of those guys you almost have to see him to believe him. When I watch him warm up down on the field, it is just like watching some superhuman out running around. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, and he really doesn't care what the opposing fans think about him. He is a show unto himself.
Romo will hand it off. Brought down behind the line. The defense got the job done on that play.
Really impressive play that time by this defensive line. It wasn't just one guy, but every guy up front just dominating their guy at the point of attack.
Back to pass. He's under pressure. Makes the grab. Tackle right around the 16-yard line. Nice toss that time that'll get them a lot closer.
You know, there's really no doubting this quarterback's physical skills. Sometimes he struggles with his mechanics or accuracy, but I don't think that there's really any issue. This guy has the ability to be an elite quarterback.
Hutchins has the interception. What an interception by the cornerback.
You know, some of these corners are just freakish athletes right now. Oftentimes, they're the best athletes on the field. Maybe they don't have the skill set, great hands, great moves, whatever, but they are definitely among the fastest in the NFL.
On play action, he's got room to run. And he's knocked out at the 39-yard line. Pretty good gain right there.
You have so many people on this offense that you have to account for. The tight ends, the wide receivers, the running backs, even the quarterbacks. And now they're throwing to the fullback. That's almost not fair.
Right. Here we go, team. Regular.
He needs to make a decision. He goes up high for the catch. Nice job by the quarterback to hit the tight end for a decent gain.
You know, tight ends may not come up with those real explosive plays down the field all the time, but they sure are a nice target for the quarterback.
Hartsock, the man in motion. Looks to pass. The pocket is collapsing. He's there for the catch. That was a good-looking throw.
Yeah, great throw, but maybe even a better read. He understood by watching what the defense did after the snap of the football exactly where to go with that ball.
Let's go. Touch. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Atlanta uses motion.
Tango off the top. Tango off the top.
He looks to throw on first down. Gets the pass away. Defender gets his hand on it. And he just managed to get a piece of it. Nice play by the defender.
And as a receiver, you really have to do a better job of coming back to the football at that point. You have to help the quarterback.
Gives it off. He got depleted. Turner picks up 2 yards with the carry.
Boy, he just took a shot on that one. As a running back, the last thing in the world you want is a short gain and a big hit.
Atlanta motions right. On play action, gets the throw away. And he catches it. Cuts back and he's dropped. Some smart football by the quarterback on that last play, and he's now up over 300 yards passing for the game.
And this offensive line's been getting it done with pass protection. I don't care who you have playing quarterback. If that guy's back there getting hit, it is awfully tough to throw for 300 yards.
They'll score. Touchdown.
Well, we're certainly not at the end of this game, but we're at a very significant part of it, and that was a big touchdown right there to put them up 6.
Here's the point after. And the point after is good. And we'll take a quick look at the drive summary. The kick is away. Jones takes it at the 4. Big hit there to bring him down. So before the offense hits the field, let's take the time to let you know that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. Nickel defense. pitch out. What a hit. I don't think he even saw that guy. Nice job on the toss play there.
Boy, if you can get that block on the edge out there, when you have a guy with this kind of speed and quickness, it just makes that play so much easier. And defensive coordinators go crazy. That's the one thing any defense should be able to do, is contain that outside pitch.
Brought down at the 41-yard line. Great time for that type of pass. It worked to perfection.
And that was a nice job by the offensive line, allowing the quarterback enough time to survey the field and find the open guy.
Here we go. Left. Let's go. Come on, guys.
They're going to pitch it. He doesn't get back to the line. Tried to find something, but there wasn't anything there for him.
Yeah, not anything at all. And as a running back, you're probably going back to the huddle going, guys, a little help, please?
3 wide receivers on the field, the quarterback in the shotgun.
Wide eight. Close up. Switch. Come on, D. Zebra. Big play, D.
Romo back to throw. Passes to his left. He's brought down at the 38. That last catch puts him over 100 receiving yards.
And one of the things I like watching about this receiver is that he understands how to read coverages. More often than not, a wide receiver has to understand reading coverages at least as well as the quarterback. Otherwise, the quarterback will see one thing and the receiver another.
Out of bounds, incomplete. The quarterback led the receiver just a little too much.
Yeah, he put a little too much on that pass and forced the receiver to make the catch out of bounds.
Punts it, and he got a good one here. And it goes out of the end zone for the touchback. If the offense can air it out as effectively as they did on their last drive, it's going to be a long day for everyone on that defense. The halfback with the carry. Makes a cut, and he will be hit and dropped. Loss of 2 on the run by the halfback. From their own 18-yard line. Atlanta comes out with 2 tight ends. White in motion. Play action. Gets it off. And it's caught. He's dropped at the 35. A nice completion to the tight end.
Always thought tight ends were sort of like pacifiers for babies, you know, just about the time that you need a little security blanket, you know where to go.
Hands it to the back. Tackled right around the 36-yard line. 2-yard pickup.
Tom, that was a run blitz on that play. They brought the middle linebacker effectively, filling all the gaps, and there was simply nowhere for the running back to go.
Here's the give. Dropped behind the line. He was caught with nowhere to go.
This is a pretty good running back, and if you can hem him up like that, pretty impressive.
Hartsock takes off to the right side. He drops back to pass. Defense closing in. Knocked loose. Good job by the defender to knock the ball out of there.
And that was a good shot. As a receiver, you've got to know you're going to take some hits. You just have to hold on to that ball.
Newman is back deep to return the punt. Gets it away cleanly. Makes the fair catch. The defense could do no wrong the last time this team had the ball. 1st and 10. Ball on the 24. Romo lines up under center. Only one man back here. Play action. Rockets it out. Makes the reception. and simply a great throw there.
Yeah, that really was a nice touch that time. Perfect sort of combination of velocity and touch. A very catchable ball thrown by this quarterback so that you don't have to overly focus on what you're doing and you can get your eyes back down the field, try and get a good run after the catch.
What a play by the defender.
And the quarterback really caught a break on that one, that wasn't intercepted.
They line up at the 33.
Prior to parking the vehicle,
Romo lines up in the shotgun. He has 3 receivers.
Let's stop it right now.
Romo drops to throw. On the run, he throws it. He took a shot at the 45, and it's the tailback with a big catch.
And tailbacks love that. Anytime they can get into the open field, think about that position. You're constantly pounding the ball inside and getting hit by those big linebackers. Now you get out in open space and you have a chance to make a play.
Pretty tight game as we head to the 4th. Our score, the Falcons 27, the Cowboys 20. It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 45. They give it to the tailback. He's brought down at the 47-yard line. Barber gains around 2 yards there on the delay. Barber is the single setback. Romo will hand it off. And they get him right around the 48-yard line. 4 yards on that play. That'll bring up 3rd down. 3rd down once again. Let's see if they can convert this one. Romo lines up in the gun. He has 3 receivers in the formation. Back to throw. Throws on the run. He's dropped at the 38. He ran a clean route, and the quarterback got it to him with a good pass. 1st down.
And you can tell there's a lot of confidence between these two guys. The quarterback has faith in these tough situations to go to that receiver and make big plays.
Again with the run. He's brought down at about the 31. They call his number, and he carries for 6 yards. From the 32-yard line. Only one man back.
Tennessee. All right, here we go. Stay inside right here. 180. We up. Hey,
Right. On play action. And he makes the tall grab. Great open field tackle. And a nice pass to the tight end.
So much of the game today revolves around those substitution packages, trying to bring extra defensive backs on the field to try and help against the pass. But when you have a big receiving tight end, that really makes that plan awfully tough to execute.
He's finally dragged down, and now it will be 1st and goal. Offense comes out 1st and goal, needing a touchdown to tie things up. He drops back to pass. He'll try the end zone. Caught out of bounds, incomplete. It looked like he tried to drag his feet as he was going out, but he couldn't get him down.
You know, and sometimes that happens. The quarterback put it in a spot where only he could catch it. The problem was the ball was just a little off target.
Romo looking to pass. They tackle him for a loss. They lose a couple there, so that'll make it 3rd down. It's 3rd and goal, 5 yards away from a score. Romo is in the shotgun, 3 receivers wide this time. He drops back. Throws it short. Brings this one in. He's in for the score. There's another scoring strike through the air. That's his 3rd TD pass of the game. And they look to tie things up. It's good. In the 4th, with better than 12 minutes to go, our score, the Cowboys 27, the Falcons 27. Good distance on the kick. Dropped at the 35. That return will set the offense up nicely.
They did an outstanding job blocking for the returner, and he repaid their efforts with a huge gain.
They'll give it off here. Hit and drop behind the line. That's a 2-yard loss.
Boy, a shot like that, not only does it play well on television today, but tomorrow in that defensive film room, it's going to be even better.
Back to throw. Passes over the middle. Tipped ball, intercepted. And they get him around the 44-yard line. What a crucial interception.
Well, if you want to know why quarterbacks get paid so much money, there it is. They win games for you, but with mistakes like that, they can lose games for you.
Romo drops to throw. Goes through his read. Tipped away. And it's batted away at the last minute by the defender.
Just when it looked like the quarterback might sneak that one in there, a late pass defense and a good play.
Drops back to pass. The defense has him surrounded. Knocked out right around the 32-yard line. That's just a well-executed screen pass. They had the blockers in front, and they got it to him with room to run.
I just don't think there's any play in football that is much prettier than that because it involves the entire team. You get the running back out in the open space. You get the offensive lineman out front. A little acting job by the quarterback. That's a pretty play to watch.
Barbert gains 7 yards on that play. The Cowboys go with the I formation. Setting up play action. It's tipped and intercepted. That interception could change the complexion of this game.
When you're playing with a tie score, you have to try to be aggressive, obviously, to get the game-winning score. But if you turn it over, oh my, what a painful turnover that was.
They go with the run. He's dropped at the 16. Picked up about 6 yards that time. That brings up second down. The Falcons come out in a 2 tight end set. Looks to pass. Under heavy pressure. He's brought down at the 19-yard line. And the defense just ate that one up, Chris.
Yeah, you're not going to fool this defense on plays like that very much. At least he got the ball out of there, though.
Redmond comes to the line, 3-wide formation. Redmond gives it up the middle. He's tackled right around the 22-yard line. Decent run there to pick up the first down.
Little juke, little shake and bake, pick up the first down. When you're trying to tackle professional running backs, you can't watch the shoulders. You have to keep your eyes right on the belly button.
Redmond drops back. Throws it short. Goes out of bounds at the 27-yard line. So a pickup of maybe 3. Offset I formation in the backfield. And they're coming after him. Williams gets his hand on it. A great play by the defense to knock the ball away.
And these defenders have been close all day. You better be careful if you're the quarterback. One of those is going to turn into an interception.
He drops back to pass. He throws left. And it's completed. It does go for a completion, but not quite what they needed for the first.
The intention of that play was to put the ball in the hands of a playmaker at receiver, allow him to make a move and pick up the first down. He was unable to do it, and that brings up fourth.
Here's the kick. He got some distance on it. Newman fields it at the 29. Brought down right around the 40-yard line. They gave up way too many yards on the return there, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, without a doubt. As part of the coverage team now, you've got to free yourself from that blocker as quickly as possible. And if you can't do that, you're going to give up some big returns.
He looks to throw on first down. He lost it. It's picked up. What a huge time to lose the ball.
What a shift in the fortunes of this game. Just when we started to think one team's in control, they're going in for the go-ahead score, and now we have to completely flip it upside down and give it to the other team.
Fakes to the back. Almost picked. An excellent job by the defense of disrupting that last play.
And that was really on the wide receiver. Not much of a route, very little separation, and gave the defense a chance to make that play.
Here's the halfback. And they get him at the 32-yard line. 1 yard on the play.
Little linebacker blitzed on that one, and you could see that the quarterback just didn't see it in time to audible out of that play, and let's give credit to the defense. They won that battle.
He drops back with the throw. Catch is made. What a brutal hit. With that last catch, the wide receiver has logged his 100th yard of the game.
Just a good, solid performance here by the receiver. This guy is plenty tough enough. I like the way that he gets in and out of his cuts, but I love his toughness. He's never intimidated out there.
They go with the toss. He'll be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. He starts out the wrong way and winds up losing yardage.
Well, that's no fun for the running back. It's one thing to get stuffed at the line of scrimmage, but when you start losing yards running the football, that's a disaster.
The pocket is collapsing. Pass completed. He's tackled at the 23. That pass play goes nowhere. That'll bring up third down. 3rd and 14. Ball on the 23-yard line. They come out with 3 wide receivers. Looks to pass. Fires it out. Can't hang on. And the defender breaks up the play.
Just great position that time on the defensive side. The receiver really never had a chance on that one.
And right down the middle. Nice work putting that one right through the uprights. Here's a quick look at the drive summary. He kicks it. Fielded at the 4. He's tackled at the 29-yard line. So as the offense heads back onto the field, we'll take this time to remind you that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game.
Go give him a yard. Go get it, baby.
They go with the toss. And the last man gets him. The running back tops the century mark with that last run.
The defense hasn't quite figured this kid out yet. Give them time, though. They're pretty smart defense. I don't think they're going to be able to do much more than what they've done, though. They've got to find a way to put a stop to this real quick.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 49-yard line. The Cowboys go with the I formation. He's looking to throw. He's under pressure. Completed. He's dropped at the 40. strong, accurate throw leads to a pretty good gain.
Now, they didn't pick up the first down that time, but you drop back, you make a good throw like that. Now you're in position to try and pick up this first down.
What's that screen out here? This dude right here tight. Let's go. Keep playing.
Romo hands it off. He's brought down around the 32-yard line. And that was an excellent job to pick up the first down.
Anytime in the NFL you see a 7-yard run for a first down, you know those guys up front are not only making their blocks, they're sustaining those blocks.
Fakes to the back. Brings it in. And they get him around the 16-yard line. And a pretty smart play call right there.
It really is so much the key to football. You talk all the time about you have to establish the run. Well, there you see why. You establish the run, and then you come with the play-action pass. Just so hard to defend.
Short pass to his left. They finally bring him down, and it's first and goal. Nice pass play.
It really was in the 80s that we first started seeing offenses throwing the ball to the fullback. You know, for so many years, those guys were just big blockers.
Romo hands it off straight ahead. He's dropped around the 5-yard line. The running back gets about a yard, maybe less. They'll line it up, 5 yards for the score. The Cowboys come out with 4 wide receivers, the quarterback in the shotgun. Romo has completed every pass on this drive with the catch. Not much of a gain at all on that completion. What happened on that?
Well, I think the offense really just trying to make a safe throw rather than taking a big chance and throwing it down the field. You get the ball in the hands of your receiver and let him try and make a play. That time, nothing there.
Barber takes it up the middle. And they're not going to get it. Great stop. That play was stuffed from the get-go.
And it's not very often that I get really excited about defensive line play, but that time the guys up front on defense were just overpowering.
He's got it. He makes that one pretty easily and puts it through for 3 points. Decent kick. It's fielded at the 2. He's hammered at the 27-yard line. The last time they took the field, they were able to come away with 3 points. They'll go to work at the 27, 1st and 10. Out of the I formation.
Come on, man. Touch. Luke 45. Luke 45. Whoa.
Redmond calls for motion left. Here's the pass. It's there for the catch. Tackled at the 43-yard line. And a big catch by the tight end.
And I can tell you this, there's nothing that defensive backs hate more than to have one of those big tight ends in the open field running right towards them.
First down, looking to throw. Throws into coverage, and it's intercepted. Brought down about the 43-yard line. So they give up the big interception. Now they have to buckle down on defense and stop them from scoring.
Whoa, this game feels a little differently now, doesn't it? All of a sudden, the momentum has completely shifted to the other side of the ball. Let's see what they can do with it now.
Let's go, baby. Get the ball.
Tosses it out. He's dropped at the 40. The halfback runs for 4 yards. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Dallas goes with the ace set here. They keep it on the ground with the tailback. It's a fumble. Picks it up. Great play by the defense to recover the fumble.
Just about the time you think you've seen everything. Oh my goodness, how can you fumble in that situation?
Turner on the give. And he will lose yardage on the play. The offensive line didn't get much of a push on that play, and the runner was stuffed.
Well, that's what happens when defensively you get every gap covered. There is simply nowhere to go with the football. No chance for the running back that time.
Stiff arms, and he's brought down. He got what he could, and it wasn't much.
And that's why you send all those guys to plug up the holes, and that time there were no holes, really, and he was lucky to get anything on the play.
Looking to throw. Scans the field. Threw it right to him, but he can't hang on. 4th down now after that incomplete pass. The offense wasn't able to get on track during that last series.
Yeah, they just kind of looked out of sync from the very beginning there, and I thought 1st down really set the tone for that entire series.
Punts it. This one's going to go out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Once again, we'll take this opportunity to remind you that this game is brought to you by the fine folks at EA Sports. Give to the tailback. He's brought down at the 43-yard line. 1-yard gain on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. They line up at the 43. 2 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Romo is under center. Only one in the backfield this time. They'll give it off here. Brought down at the 46-yard line. Again, they go with the run.
You know, I understand you can't completely abandon the running game, but my goodness, let's go. Let's pick it up. You've got to put some points up.
Drops back, passes it, makes the catch. Hit hard at the 41-yard line. That catch will keep the drive alive here in the 4th quarter.
And now this defense is really under pressure. A fresh set of downs, in control of the clock. The offense is in a perfect position here.
Drops back to pass. Guns it out. Oh, and he dropped it. What an effort out there. He just got his hands in there and broke it up.
I love watching the closing speed of this defense. When they see the ball, they go get it.
The Cowboys come out in the ace formation. They motion to the right. They're going to pitch it. He's tackled at the 39-yard line. A yard, maybe 2 on the carry. Only one man back. They're calling an audible. The Cowboys will take their first time out of the half. 3rd and 8. Just a minute remains in this football game. He drops back to pass. He's running out of time. Pass is complete. And he's knocked out at about the 19-yard line. A good play to the tight end that time.
And tight ends are so big that as coverage people, it's tough to figure out how to defend them. If you're on their left side, they throw it to their right side. If you're behind them, they throw it in front. Tight ends are tough to cover.
And they motion a guy to the right. And the defense has a heavy rush. Romo can't escape the pressure. And can you believe it? That makes sack number 6 for the game.
This is an offensive line that's been known to struggle at times, but 6 sacks, are you kidding me? This is like the swinging gate theory here. Put a body in front of somebody out there. Give the quarterback a chance.
He's going to take off. He's dropped at the 21-yard line, so the keeper goes for about 7 yards. The offense has looked very good on 3rd down so far on this drive. Let's see what happens here. Handoff to the right. Tackled at the 14. The ball carrier gives them 6 yards on the ground. It's good. Good job putting that kick right on target, and it goes through for 3 points. Not a bad kick. Norwood from the 4. Dropped at the 27-yard line. This is it, do or die time. A field goal will tie it. A touchdown will win it.
Yeah, but the clock is a big factor right now. I always say go for the touchdown, go for the win. But first things first, you have to get in position for that tying field goal.
He looks to throw on first down. Passes to his left. And he's out around the 28-yard line. Gain a couple through the air. That'll make it second down. He drops back to pass. He's dropped for the sack. Looks like someone just missed their assignment on that one.
The tough part for a quarterback is trying to identify who the Mike backer is, because what they want is they want offensive linemen handling the big guys, handling the guy they think may be blitzing, may be rushing on a play. If you misidentify that guy, you can get hit in the back of the head.
Great pickup for the first on that one.
And really what makes NFL football so special is the ability of these quarterbacks to throw it and these great receivers to catch it. That's just fun to watch.
That tackle just sealed the deal. And this was a good one. Our final score is the Cowboys 33, the Falcons 30.